So everything juice, the juicy boys, juicy fruits.
This can be complex and honestly sometimes a little bit confusing.
This is one of the aspects of the game that I feel is overly busy.
It can be, because there's so many different ways that you can gain juice, and there's so many different ways that it can be applied in game as well.
Just straight from the book, in game terms, juice points allow you to create and remove story tags, give and remove statuses, and burn other players' tags, giving you immense freedom to use your character's abilities creatively. The most common way to receive juice is making the change to game move, but other moves and game options also grant juice.
Every batch of the juice points you received has a method, and basically what this is going to be talking about is depending on how you gain juice when you use the change the game move is going to be how you're going to have to use it. For example, you can't use your change the game move and get juice and then make basically like a field medic kit and then turn around and say, well, I want to use it to harm somebody.
Right. If you make a medic, like if you say, hey, cool, I made a story tag, it's going to let me do this, then that's all it can be done for.
Yeah.
If you are using your juice to give alpha healing or to heal wounds or whatever, that's all it can be used for. Something like a story tag, also, whenever you make it, there is this thing called banked juice that it talks about.
Yeah, you can pocket juice.
You can pocket it, but you can only pocket one set of juice, and you have to either let it go or you have to use it up before you can do it again. And the method that you can use it never changes. So once it's made, it's set and you can't change how you use it.
So the example that's used right out of the book is you have a character that basically has 3 juice points, right? Mm-hmm. And it spawns some zombies. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't necessarily need to spawn 3 zombies. So maybe you want to pocket that 1 juice and you just want to spawn 2 zombies.
Mm-hmm. And then bring the other one up later when you need it, or if one of them gets destroyed or for whatever reason.
Another thing to be aware of too, for example, is when you burn some juice to do something in the game. Like, for example, I'm taking this right out of the book again, and it has this situation where it has a character trying to suck the alcohol out of another drunk character. You have 3 juice points, but you're going to burn them, and you can't pocket it because realistically, this scenario is specific to what your character is trying to do.
It's a short-term thing.
Exactly.
It's happening right now. The other big caveat to juice is what they call help and hurt points. These are something that you accrue over time in your montage or downtime, I can't remember.
It's during downtime, but you can also turn around when you're playing the game. If you don't have juice to burn, you can turn around, change the game. But one thing I do want to touch on beforehand is, let's say you do have juice pocketed. If you've created the juice point, whatever tags you have used to create that juice point cannot be used again until that juice is gone.
Until it's the help and hurt points though are another point of this game that is just like it is juice, but it's juice that you can only use in a specific way. Yeah. It's kind of crispy juice in a way, which is,
I wouldn't say crispy, but more like pinned down and more like directed, because you're creating juice that's going to affect a player that you're playing with in either realistically a positive, you're helping them out kind of way, or I'm going to say negative almost in like a PvP aspect.
Yeah, you're impeding what they're trying
to
do. You can use help and hurt points at any time. Another player is trying to do something, whenever they make a roll whenever they use a move before the roll is made, you say, hey, I want to help, or hey, I want to hinder what they're doing. I'm going to use this many of this point, this many of that point, and it creates a status based on the number of points. So if you use 3 points, it uses a 3 status. Everybody at the table has the option to do this, except for the person who originally made the move. So multiple players can do this on any other player's move. If you have 6 players at the table and player 1 makes a move, players 2 through 6 can do a help or a hurt, trying to either make this happen more likely or less likely. Straight from the book, to compound helping or interfering statuses given by different team members, they must be on the same spectrum. So as long as they're doing the same thing, dude runs over and pushes you, and then another dude also runs over and tries to sock you across the face or whatever. They're both physical. They're both on the same spectrum. They will stack.
Or you can have something where like tap on the shoulder, like you can do it, and then like a group pep talk.
Yeah. Otherwise, helpful and detrimental statuses do not stack. Only the status with the highest tier among the helpful statuses and the status of the highest tier among the detrimental statuses apply. So if they're of different spectrums, so say one's physical and somebody else is doing a mental thing, they don't stack. You take whichever one was higher at the end.
And I think realistically, if you kind of look at it from this perspective, if we're taking it, the text, and like we just did, if they don't really, if you've got a mental and physical, they're not going to stack.
No.
If they're in the same line with each other, they're going to work with each other to basically either bonus or negative with those checks.
Ideally, if you're trying to really boost somebody up or trying to really hinder somebody who's getting out of line, you're going to want to make sure that stacks. That's also, I think, an interesting way that you could split the table a little bit. You have your physicals and your mentals, and they're kind of clashing in the middle, and because the negatives and the positives are kept separate.
I would also say, before we go ahead and close out this video, if this is something that, if you're going to follow the rules in the book and you're going to go like, this is how it's going to be, awesome. But again, kind of calling back to conversations we've had before, come to an agreement at the table where you're going to be able to do stuff like this, because again, not all players are going to be comfortable feeling attacked. Right,
and not everybody's going, and that's part of the superheroes and the mythological side of this thing is, well, Superman and Batman, every once in a while they don't agree on something and Batman gets in the way.
Yeah.
Doesn't really stop Superman from doing it, or Superman's morals get in the way and doesn't really stop Batman from doing it, but it takes a little bit longer to get there. It's just, you don't want it to cause tension at the table.
Exactly.
And it can be very messy to handle well.
So just talk with your table, talk with your MC during your session 0. You can do this per rules, but again, I think it's definitely a good conversation to have with everybody before they're implemented.
Yeah, and as far as the per rules and by the book stuff, the next video is probably going to fly in the face of that pretty hard. The next one, I figure we're going to be talking about statuses, and we have some opinions. We'll put it at that. So for now,
thank you so much for watching.
Thanks. Yeah.
Catch us on the Twitters, comment section. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions about any of the moves at this point, or even any of just about juice in general,
because we went over a lot of this, and there's a lot more that we didn't go over.
So until next time, stay awesome, be excellent, and please love each other. We're out.
We'll see you.
Peace.